Hey everybody, it's Kristen. Welcome back. So I hope everyone had a good experience with seeing it from their side. And I hope you learned a lot. And what I would like for you to do next for your second assignment, should you choose to accept it, is to take all of the stuff that you learned after walking around with the binoculars and trying to do things with gloves. And I want you to think of a few things that you could change around the house to make it easier for that person to either find frequently used objects or to reduce their fall risk. So things that immediately come to mind for me would be things like a remote. So if people with dementia don't necessarily pay attention to or remember where they put things down. So if you kind of come along behind them and you think about where they see things and put that remote where they can see it. That would be the same thing for anything that they frequently look for. Whether it's a book, whether it's if they're using a tablet or an iPad of anything to do any kind of games or puzzles or to watch Clear Day at Home. Same thing, we talked a little bit in that first video about the table and where it's easiest for them to see their plate. Another thing in terms of the plate is having some contrast between the color of the plate and the color of the tabletop and the color of the food. If you were serving mashed potatoes on a white plate on a white tablecloth, they're going to struggle with that. And likewise, putting, the computer or the plate or whatever farther out on the table. And that'll help them see that easier. Some of the other possibilities are you noticed trip hazards around the house. So you could move uneven surfaces if there's a rug that they won't see coming up. And it should probably be double-sided tape down anyway or removed if they are starting to have a little bit of balance impairment. But any objects that sit on the floor, and sometimes this is really hard because some people just like to leave their objects on the floor. But if, now that you're kind of aware, well, I could really trip over that, that can be something that's just changed and you'll just have to let them get used to it and work through the change, which can be hard. Again, things like moving furniture if something is sticking out into a pathway, rearranging things in the bathroom or the kitchen. But just, spend a little time and go around the house. You can, do this again and just try and make some changes. The other thing you could think about too, if there's something now that you've done that experience that they regularly struggle with, you could maybe try putting some of this information into that puzzle and maybe they don't see it, or maybe they're too clumsy, to turn those pages or whatever it is, something, pay attention to when they get frustrated. Because again, our role is to be a detective and to find those unmet needs, things that are making it difficult for them, and for us to work around the back end to make it easier. And then that, of course, improves your level of frustration because it's making it easier for them. And then they're not, getting aggravated and oftentimes kind of taking out their frustration on you. So everybody, good luck with that. I hope you find a few things that can help just the daily flow a little bit. And I will see you next time. Thank you for coming and thank you for all of your effort. It will pay off.